Welcome back. We're half past the hour on the Saturday. Parenting does not come with a warning label, but maybe it should. Most parents already know this, how tough it is to raise children. But this week, the U.S. Surgeon General issued an advisory warning. It says the sky-high stress levels parents face actually pose a health threat. Here with us to take a closer look at the challenges parents are up against is clinical psychologist Dr. Komisar. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so interested in this subject. Nearly half of the parents say in this survey that stress is overwhelming. 41% say it hurts their ability to function. How did we get here? How has parenting become harder than it was in the past?
Well, parents are economically more strapped than ever before, and they have fewer choices regarding balancing work and family life, which forces them to do too much, more than they actually can do. And it forces also them to be more away from their children, just spending downtime also caring for themselves. So, we're a country that doesn't have paid leave, which allows parents the opportunity to care for their very young children with support. And we're a country that doesn't really support family having choices in childcare like tax credits. And so this is up in the election. We know this, but these are some of the reasons. There are also other reasons, external reasons, as the Surgeon General talks about social media as a reason. Children are more stressed themselves because of social media. There are more safety concerns. There's more exposure to things like gun violence. These are some of the things in the report. There are many external things, but I would say the main thing is that parents are economically strapped and have fewer choices.
I do want to talk to you about social media in just a moment. Doc, you're a parent, you're a coach, you're a public speaker. I have no doubt you hear from a lot of people that are struggling with parenthood. Are there any issues that keep coming up over and over again when you talk to these parents?
Well, I mean, I think the idea that parents believe today, we've all been fed this line that we can do it all and all at the same time. And so parents feel they can care for their children, when they have choices, obviously economically, and also have two working parent intense careers. And I think that that is really a myth. I think, there are a lot of myths out there that we can do it all. I mean, we can do it all in life, both parents, but not all at the same time. So, the idea that we have to make choices and sacrifices, these are not things that make Americans feel comfortable.
Let's go back to social media. There's so many warnings about overuse and, of course, the loneliness epidemic. Are we isolating ourselves from the friends, family, neighbors that past generations counted on to help raise their kids? Just keep an eye on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the Surgeon General report, the Surgeon General usually focused on medical issues like smoking cessation and fluoride in the water. And now he's focusing on really important social, emotional, and mental health issues. So I applaud him for that. But yes, we are more disconnected from the people that we love. We don't even live near the people that we love. What I call a family diaspora, people moving away from their families and not having family support, being disconnected from things like faith and faith-based communities. So, I'm not the only one to talk about this, but yes, we're very disconnected in a way which is causing more loneliness. But again, the Surgeon General is talking about very important issues.
I agree. I think all of us were very surprised when he came out with this warning. So we have known for a long time that a parent's mental health affects their kids. That makes complete sense. But what can parents do to protect themselves?
Well, you have to take care of yourself. It is the metaphor of the oxygen mask, right? You have to care for yourself before you can care for your children. So if you're suffering from depression and anxiety, you need to get help for yourself because your mental health impacts your children. And things like anxiety make parents more anxious about things like safety and make them more perfectionistic and obsessive over their children. The truth is that children do best, they do well when their parents are calm and physically and emotionally present, not necessarily when they're doing a lot with their parents, just when they're being with their parents, playing in the yard, eating meals, watching their favorite show, playing checkers. I mean, the idea that we've become a society that focuses on activities and doing, as opposed to just being with our children.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.